Jar Binks, everyone's favorite Star Wars character, and if you couldn't tell, that was definitely sarcasm. I personally don't mind Jar Jar, but I know a lot of people hate this character. But he does kind of have an interesting story throughout the prequels. He starts off as kind of a simple-minded Gungan on the planet of Naboo. He doesn't really seem to know much, just kind of a native creature, kind of a humanoid type fish creature. And then at the end of the prequels, he's a politician. In episode 2, he's kind of a substitute senator for Padme. And by episode 3, I think he's a full out just politician. So during the prequels, he goes from being this simple minded creature to being probably, a pretty complex senator, a politician. But then you start to wonder what happens to him after the prequels. What happened to Jar Jar after episode 3, Revenge of the Sith? Now, this is what I think probably happened. When Emperor Palpatine, or Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, Darth Sidious, whatever you want to call him, when he announced that he was turning the Galactic Republic into the First Galactic Empire, almost all the senators clapped. It was greeted by thunderous applause. Almost everyone was happy with the change. Now, he could have used sort of a Jedi mind trick, or I guess a Sith mind trick, to trick everyone into being happy about it, but it seems like most people were happy about it because they liked Palpatine as a chancellor. He manipulated them into liking him, and I think they liked the fact of him having absolute power. Now, there were some senators like Padme and General Organa, who was Leia's adopted father, which was kind of interesting because Leia's adopted father and her birth mother were two of the only senators who didn't clap. But, that is just kind of an interesting fact I just wanted to point out. But so there were some exceptions that they didn't clap, that they didn't welcome the change. But I'm guessing Jar Jar, as a senator, did welcome the changes, and here's why. One, there's a very, very low, chance, very low percentage that he wouldn't have clapped, because it basically seems like everyone was clapping. And two, he seems to have a pretty good relationship with the Chancellor. They kind of smile at each other at the end of episode 1. In episode 2, he gives the Supreme Chancellor emergency powers, and there's a deleted scene in episode 3 where Palpatine basically thanks Jar Jar for giving him that power. So they seem to have a good relationship, and Jar Jar would definitely be very happy that his friend, his close friend, was, the Emperor now. So I'm guessing what probably happened was he probably joined the Empire because there were a lot of generals and senators that actually did go from the Republic, the good guys, to the Empire, the bad guys, because the Empire was a legitimate successor to the Republic, and a lot of people were manipulated and thought the Empire was a good change and thought the Jedi truly were evil. So Jar Jar might have been, thinking along those same lines, and he probably just wound up with the Empire. He might have served as a senator until the events of Episode 4, when Palpatine permanently shut down the Senate, and then he might have become a general or some other government official. And I'm guessing what probably happened was he was either on the first or second Death Star and got blown up in either Episode 4 or Episode 6, or just remained in some other government job, and eventually when the Empire fell, then maybe, I don't know what happened to him then, maybe he joined the First Order. He would be very old by then, so maybe he had retired, or maybe he was just killed, maybe he was persecuted by the rebels or the New Republic, who really knows. But anyway, he joined the Empire, and he either died, retired, or he might have fled from the rebels. Any one of those possibilities, but obviously he isn't in the original trilogy because he wasn't thought up as a character yet, so I just wanted to make a quick little video explaining what I think happened to Jar Jar Binks after the prequels. So yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment if you want. There'll be more content coming up soon, and I will see you all next time.